It was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
So my very first time, I remember I did it because my girlfriend were doing it. I did it because I thought my boyfriend would love me more. I did it because I thought otherwise he would leave me. I did it because I thought I wanted to grow up fast and was really like, oh, is that it? Really? Are people going on and on and on about this? Is this, you know?
You know, the ceremony is imikiti and stuff. Yes, it was that thing. That's when I broke my virginity, and it was painful but nice.
It was good. I liked it. I think I'll do it again.
Well, my first sexual encounter was coming out of my mother's vagina.
Oh my God. Terrible. That's one word. Painful. And, it wasn't as exciting as it could have been now. But yeah, it was painful.
A young boy's fantasy come true.
You really want to know? Okay. He had a small dick.
Hectic. It was fucked up, if I may say. It was painful. It was so painful.
I wish I had been a little more educated before I did anything. I think it probably would have been a lot more enjoyable, and looking back now, probably a lot safer.
Strange, because it was a woman, and I'm gay, so...
I assume I was really lucky because I had sex. The first time I had sex was with my first love.
I'm married, and now this actually gives me, this reminds me of something that I don't want to remember, because now I'm in a relationship that is so faithful, and then this actually take me back to, the naughty days.
I'm actually allergic to latex.
My first time was with my wife of 19 years, 2 kids.
I had what I'd like to call an accidental first time because I was under the impression that my girlfriend understood that I was not ready, right? So we talked about this, and then I told her, I'm going to lose my virginity when I'm 23. At the time, I was 19. So things got heated up. One thing led to another, and before I knew it, it was like quick, boom! And then I was like, and then I was so mad at her for like a week, and then we did it again the following week. And then it was cool.
It's more intellectual thing, it's more about meeting of minds, bodies, people's minds and bodies, connection between the soul. There's a spirituality aspect.
I was about 18 and a half.
I thought I was terribly sophisticated as a teenager, and I was ready.
First time is about getting over that first milestone, working out what it is that it takes to get to the next level.
No, I wasn't in love, but yes, it was a very good time.
After a cheerleading competition in the States with one of my female cheerleaders in her bedroom.
I think a lot of people get stuck on the first time they had intercourse, penetrative sex, which I don't necessarily believe is the first sexual encounter.
So my first time with a man, I was 14, but he thought I was 17. His name was Bronco. He was Colombian. It actually happened at my auntie Mary's house. She was having a dinner party, and he was one of the people working at the dinner party.
I tried to let him redeem himself and wanted more sex from him, but no. Yes, no, he wasn't embarrassed. It was more like he said I wanted too much.
That is so long ago I can hardly remember. It was probably with my wife.
The funny thing is that I was really insistent. I was like, come on, let's get it on. Like, let's, and he was like, no. Let's wait, it's quite a big thing and da-da-da. And I was like, yeah, I get it.
It was terrible. Terrible.
I think I was lucky. I was with somebody I loved.
We live in a society that is so over-sexualized, and people are so obsessed with sex. And if people would just shut up a moment about sex, and think about godliness, or at least think about making a spaghetti bolognese dinner. Now there is something worth thinking about and discussing.
It was a good experience, was with my husband.
Rashes, swelling, lasted a few minutes maybe. Well, to get it to that point, but it lasted about 2 or 3 days, the actual pain and everything.
Of course, awkward, but fun, but yeah.
Organized by someone else, dragged me, so not kicking and screaming. And it was amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like a children's game.
Wasn't really that special. It was kind of just for the sake of it, because we were both young and we were both traveling, and we're like, hey, you know, we're both partying, we're both attracted to each other, we're both traveling, let's go to a hostel.
Well, it should be pretty amazing, I guess. The people put a lot of hype about it, so I guess it's like there's so many movies, and everywhere you look nowadays, the media is just kind of pumping it down your throat, so it should be pretty awesome.
Well, I remember being a little girl and playing with girls at school and playing doctor and exploring each other's body.
It was with my wife.
We fell in love when she was 15, and we had a lot of fun before then, but she refused to have penetrative sex until she was 16, so it's virtually on her 16th birthday that we lost our virginity to each other, which is rather sweet.
First time with the guy, that was a bit later, a few years later, yeah.
We had the pleasure of being able to explore each other over a period of time in a very open and trustful manner. So by the time it got to full-on proper sex, it was wild.
But I did not understand condoms. So there was a moment of terror afterwards. But it didn't put me off for long.
After waiting for so long, I'm like, it's going to be so romantic, blah, 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 blah. I got there and it was just like, we just took off our clothes and we're just like, finally, okay, we're going to do this. And before anything happened, he was like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm drunk, I don't know. Let's just do this. After like 15, 20 minutes, I was like, is this it? Is this what sex is about? I'm like, this is whack. This is the worst thing ever. Like, it's painful, it hurts. This can't make people happy.
I actually haven't. Yeah, exactly.
It's back in the days when there weren't any major hassles with sex. It was 80s, the love decade. I'm looking more forward to meeting the person to do it with, I guess that's the main thing. Yeah.
In my culture, we don't talk about such things. That is encouraging the gang rape of children.
My best sexual experience, my current girlfriend. All I can say is that on every sexual encounter, session, whatever that we have, it's almost like creating a new Kama Sutra. Yes. In fact, we're thinking of venturing into creating a lesbian Kama Sutra.
Since I was a little kid, I'd always thought that the whole first time thing was a little built up. So I'd always wanted to get it out of the way and get it over with in a very, not sure where that came from, but what can you do? But yeah, it was beautiful, hey?
I didn't think that I would hook up with her, to be honest. So it just kind of, it happened one night, you know?
It was safe and it was good.
And then even the second time, it was not that painful, but yeah, so.
Once again, I think I actually have been quite blessed that the people that I have been with have just been really considerate, generous, kind people.
The next time was nice.
We obviously did also explore before marriage, but it was after marriage.
And then we fall into this trap where we believe that we can get intimacy through sex. And often when sex it is just what it is the opposite of intimacy.
Also very strange because, you know, you have to get to know, I suppose your first experience is always less comfortable than the later ones are. But yeah.
There was that sense of nerves, you know, so there's so much else to focus on besides like relaxing and then enjoying the process.
They broke. I know. Very scary for teenagers.
It wasn't as glamorous as I thought. I couldn't get it up, so I thought I was an absolute disaster. I thought this is the end, this is terrible. And then very shortly after that, it was 4 times a night on average. You know, at that age.
And I haven't met someone who's like so amazing that I can't even resist them. So I think for me, like my convictions are stronger than what's out there.
My first experience with a guy was much later, and that was nice as well. That was with my boyfriends.
20 years later, we're still together.
I don't know about if the preparedness helps, but if the preparedness is a sense of trust, then I think so. You know, it wasn't random. It wasn't like either of us felt compelled or obliged. We both wanted to, and we both felt safe.
The only thing I remember is how clean and nice this place was, how wonderful he was. First was like a little painful, a little uncomfortable, and then we did it a couple more times in the night, and yeah, it was good.
If I do go into a relationship with someone, then I try to be a little bit mindful about not having expectations and just, you know, our bodies do a dance together, and it's more about like how we move together and the communication and what's happening in the present moment.
There's 2 things that make it good. Good, great, amazing, whatever. That set it apart from just average. Number 1 is that myself or the person knows what we're doing, has an experience which neither of us had, or it's someone that I really care about. And it's more than just sex, you know?
And he had me completely convinced that he loved me, but clearly it was really, he was quite frustrated when I said, no, I don't trust condoms anymore, because it took a long time.
But I would like to say sex has gotten so much better right now. I think I'm having the best sex of my life.
It says what we do today echoes through to eternity, and I think for me, I'm very aware of the ripples of life.
A lot of positions that we can try as lesbians because it's not out there sexually. We'd like to talk about the different positions that lesbians can have sex in, because people think that it's impossible without a dick to try 27,000 different positions. And it is. We have tongues, we have fingers, there are toys, we have clits, we have holes, we have lubes, we have boobs.
To me, sex is God. You know, it's the most profound experience we can have of connecting with the divine that is inside ourselves, is inside the other. It's part of this existence. It's just the tools. It's not the arrival point.
You know, if he dances left and then I'll shimmy to the left, and if he shimmies to the right, I'll shimmy to the right, and if I shimmy to the forward, he'll shimmy to the forward. So it's just like a dance.
Because I was more older, and more matured, and knew a bit about sex now. So yeah.
Sex is good, but you know, I mean, if it's just sex, then you might as well just masturbate.
It's like cheese and wine and chocolate and wine kind of thing.
Being a kid, you know, you takes time for guys to learn the technique of love.
Oh my gosh. Why am I telling you this?
Z, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.